We call this Creve Coeur School District number 76 Board of Education Committee of the Whole together to order. So we're going to do pledge first. Just join us in the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Linda Bailey.
Here.
Pam Greiner.
Here.
Brenda Cagle.
Here.
Rebecca Kern here. Valerie Reagan. Here. Julie Troop.
Here.
Judy Strong.
Present. All right, we need a motion, please, to enter into closed session.
I make a motion to enter into closed session for discussion regarding the appointment, employment, performance, and termination of personnel.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Linda Bailey.
Aye.
Pam Greiner.
Aye.
Brenda Cagle.
Aye.
Rebecca Kern. Aye. Valerie Reagan.
Aye.
Julie Troop.
Aye.
Judy Strong.
Present.
Motion carried.
All right, we'll turn to the other room. We'll be back. We need a motion to resume regular session, please.
I make a motion that we resume the committee of the whole meeting.
I'm sorry,
Regular session. Sorry.
the special
Sorry.
session.
Did you second it? Linda Bailey.
Aye.
Pam Greiner.
Aye.
Brenda Cagle.
Aye.
Rebecca Kern. Aye. Valerie Reagan. Aye. Judy Strong.
Yes.
Julie Troop.
Aye.
Now we need a motion to adjourn, please, special meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn. I second it.
Linda Bailey.
Aye.
Pam Greiner.
Aye.
Brenda Cagle.
Aye.
Rebecca Kern. Aye. Valerie Reagan.
Aye.
Julie Troop.
Aye.
Judy Strong.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Going on to calling the Committee of the Whole meeting to order. And we'll practice our Pledge of Allegiance, please. I'll stand and do that together. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I appreciate the audience out there tonight. Roll call, please.
Linda Bailey.
Here.
Pam Greiner.
Here.
Brenda Cagle.
Here.
Rebecca Kern here. Valerie Reagan.
Here.
Judy Strong.
Present.
Julie Troop.
Here.
Our discussion items as presented, and I'll turn this to you.
Okay, I had a meeting with the county clerk regarding our 2014 tax levy, and we are a taxing body, so we have to go through a process in order to get our taxes levied and collected by the county. Some documents that you have in front of you is last year's levy that you can see here, and your total levy was $1,408,000. This year's tax levy draft, as you can see on the next page, and you'll notice that it's all in round numbers because it is a draft at this point, but our estimated total levy this year will be $1,457,982. The extension is really based upon the CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index, and the county clerk recorder, Christy Webb, who I met with, her office sets that, and the CPI is 1.7%. So that extension number then that she uses is $1,388,646.73. And this is the highest of the last 3 years extension minus any bond indebtedness. So that's just telling us that that there is money in our district from all of the property taxes. This one here is 2013 is our levy calculation page. So you can see at the top there is the consumer price index. Our total actual EAV for 2012 is $60,044,914. But the estimated change is 2%, and we estimate that change from the actuals that we received last year, and minus that 2% and our estimated new construction of $313,000. That gives us an estimated total EAV for 2013 as $59,157,816. All right, and you can see that the county supervisor has, on the next page, the county supervisor has our current 2013 levy, our EAV for the taxing district as $58,804,129. And then property first assessed, $313 million. And that's where we get to take out your 2%, and we come up with the $59 million. So that's what we're looking at. Now, we are a tax capped entity, so we can only increase the taxes by 5%, up to 5%, for any taxes that are levied. So we are limited, and there is a limited rate. And you can see in the little corner there, the limiting rate is 2.4%. So no matter what we put in for our numbers, no matter what we ask for, we're only going to get what the limiting rate is going to give us. So when you go all the way through and you put through all the calculations, you can see that the capped levy, which is all the way in the right-hand corner, the capped levy is $1,457,982, which is 4.99% increase. You can go to 5% without asking or without having to have a truth in taxation hearing. But it all depends on what the estimated extension, the capped extension is going to be, and how much we're going to be able to stretch out of the tax caps. And you can see there that our bond and interest, we add that in there. The levy in excess of the estimated extension, $38,197. Bond and interest, $221,212 for a total levy of $1,679,194. Right, that's our total extension and our levy. And then we will see what all is collected, and hopefully we will be able to capture all of those dollars and have them for our use in our next budget. You can see the difference between 2012 and 2013 in the EAV of the taxing district. You can see that it did go down from 59,531,000, it went down to 58,804,000. So that accounts for some of the decrease that we have. There is an increase in the property assessed for the first time, $313,800. The problem with that is when I investigated that with Mrs. Webb, 220,000 of those dollars are in the TIF district, and so we won't collect any taxes off of that. It's unfortunate. That's where it is. You can see our PTEL worksheets for the last 3 years. I have 2010, 11, and 12 I've given you. And this gives you the calculations, and you can go through and find our past levy requests, the maximum rates, the actual rates that we get, and then the extensions. So we get pretty close to what we estimate, and what we receive has been historically very close. So we've been able to forecast and capture almost all of the EAV and the levies, tax levies that are out there. So we've been very fortunate and done a good job with all of that. I wanted to get all of these to you, all of this information to you ahead of time in some discussion, so that we can, I can bring the actual levy to you at our regular meeting and have that voted upon, and we can get that filed with the clerk and just be ahead of the game, rather than waiting until the last Tuesday in December when they're actually due. I just soon get it done if at all possible. So take this information with you, and as you have questions, please let me know. The thing that goes along with the levy, well, falls into this anyway, is our school district's annual financial report. All right, our annual financial report is the account balances, our auditors, our audited accounts, our basic financial statements. It's everything that the State Board of Education requests from the school district that we have to turn in to the State Board of Education. So I have a few copies. I wasn't sure if everyone wanted these, but I have a few copies. And what I'm asking is that these are due to the Regional Office of Education by November 15th. That's when our extension was granted until November 15th. It's not anything that the Board of Education has to vote on, but I want you to have seen this information, to ask any questions if you have any, and we can go through that so that by the 15th I can go ahead and sign these, get them submitted to the Regional Office of Education, and post it to the Illinois State Board of Education. Question?
This is a what?
This is your annual financial report.
And the board doesn't have to approve that?
It's not anything that the board approves. You
don't really approve it, you acknowledge it, I guess.
Yeah, essentially. This is your audit, your auditing, and we will have the audit in December. We will have our completed audit by then, and we will be able to go through all of that. These are the numbers that were as of June 30th, the end of the year, and it is It's just the report, the annual financial report that goes to the State Board of Education. So if you have questions or have any details that you want cleared up or anything like that, just let me know before November 15th.
Okay, so the accountant will still provide the booklet that we always
Yes,
get?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
This is just a draft.
That is, that is the information that we have to submit to the State Board of Education. It's our reports to the State Board of Education that have to be turned in, and you have your single audit that's in here. You have all of your estimating and operating expenses, and it just goes through all of the accounts and the numbers that were present at the end of June, as of June 30th, that have been audited. But yes, we will have a full audit letter. The audit booklet will come along. You may, I don't know, you may not have even have been given these in the past. I'm not sure, because it is just something that is it's a perfunctory reports to the State Board of Education. The real meat of it is the audit that you get a little bit later. But if you have, when you go through it, have questions, just let me know, and we can get them cleared up as soon as possible. But by the 15th, so that I can get it submitted. It's usually submitted, or it's actually required to be submitted by October 15th, but our accountant was granted an extension by the ROE, and so it's given 30 days to November 15th.
So you need any questions in a couple days before?
Yes, if you could, a couple days before that, so that I can have time to research them, talk to the auditor if need be, and get the information back.
So was he too busy? Is that why we had to ask for the extension?
I did not,
Just wanted to-
I was, I was not involved in the extension until I heard that we're getting an extension. So it was either between him and Shelley, or it's not uncommon
Right.
for these things. It's not, last year you didn't get your audit until April. Yeah. So it does happen. It's pretty common. Too few auditors, too many school districts. So, all right. So that's what's going on with the financial aspect of our school district right now. The next point is the facilities. Right now in the district, the architect and I met, and he is cross-referencing the maintenance grant and the life safety work to make sure that we are covering as much as we can with the matching money and the funds from the State Board of Education, that's the matching grant. So we are putting the finishing touches on that, and then it will be a matter of putting together the plan for attacking all of these projects and getting them bid and the likes. So a lot of it is a lot of the life safety things are also things that were on the maintenance grant. So that's why we're doing some cross-checking. So we're not, we can say that we've done both of them, cross them off both lists as we go.
What's going on with, I thought they were supposed to start working on the crosswalk in front of Parkview in the fall.
Well, that is a good question. Where is it? Oh, I wrote that in. Crosswalk and new signs. I had a meeting with, we'll move down to LaSalle. I had a meeting with the village engineer. And when she came in, she gave me the plans and the tentative schedule. And yes, they wanted to get started in the fall to do the sidewalks in front of the library, up and down that block, some curb cuts for our curb out on that side, the third grade wing, and some curb cuts out going out into the parking lot. There were issues with the funding with the state, so they weren't given the initial money to start the construction. She was kind of disappointed, but they're going to, they're going to start in the spring is their hope. She's been promised that the money will be released in the next 30 days, and so if that happens, then they'll be able to break ground in the spring. And I said, please just give me a couple weeks before you start moving trucks in here and start tearing the place up. Let me know. So I imagine that they will. The exciting thing for us are the signs and the new signage that we will be getting through this grant. There are the regular square signs that have the speed limit on it and those things, and they have strobe flashing signals now. So it's going to be, I think they are motion censored, so as cars approach, they'll see the strobe flashing all around the signs, and the school zone, there'll be the brighter yellow, there'll be the newest kind of signs, and then there'll be those are the flashing strobe, and then there's another one that's a beacon, the one light, the one yellow light that goes like that, a single beacon. And that's the one that'll be down by the Litchfield building on that end of the street. So we have a total of, four signs here and 6 signs at Parkview. So they're taking care of both those avenues. So, which will really be good down in Parkview and out here on Highland. So
When is that going to go
Spring.
this spring sometime.
This spring as well.
Yeah, this spring. It's the best that they can figure. So that had to do with the state of Illinois and not the village and not us. So they are working toward all of that. Snow removal bids. It had been a couple years since you did some snow removal bids, so I decided that it was probably would be a good time to look at the snow removal bids and find out if there are any new competitors, any new people out there, somebody who's interested in the work. We've gotten 2 so far, but I think the bidding closes Thursday. So, and it's not really bids, it's just proposals, since it's a low amount of money. And so hopefully we will have something good to bring to the board at the regular meeting on some snow removal bids. But one of the things that happened is when Head Start was began using the building, there was a gate that was put in between the building, and then there was additional fencing that was put in along that by the gazebo, right? And then there was a gate put there. There's no way for a snow truck to get back to the LaSalle playground to move the snow around. So I guess nobody thought about that. It wasn't in anybody's mind when it was being figured out and talked about. So there's no gate there. To have somebody have to take a snow blower and snow blow the whole thing is just going to be economically infeasible, so that's out of the question. So basically I've come up with, we're going to roll back the fence, the chain link fencing that we have, roll back 2 panels, take out the support post, and that can be put back in the spring, and just have an open access so that the snow removal people can have access to the playground to scrape off the snow and remove it.
Did we ever do that? Remove the snow from the playground?
That was what I was told, so, and that's a part of the
Yeah, they
bid.
just took the Bobcat back there and just
Is that what it was?
pushed through with the Bobcat.
Oh.
Yeah,
It wasn't an actual truck.
right.
It was a Bobcat.
Bobcat,
You can go back there and buzz the snow off.
You want a
but
heavy truck on that blacktop.
Well, no.
the problem is it's not big enough for any equipment. It's a small
Right.
gauge.
So it should have been a double gate to begin with.
Yeah, something.
Oh my gosh, that fly's gotta go.
Yeah. So we will work through those aspects as we move along. LaSalle parking lot. If you've been around in the parking lot out here, about 3 weeks ago, it was really nice because we added some new aggregate out there and had it leveled out, and it was looking great for about a week and a half, and now it's pretty much back to the same destroyed state that it was before we put down the aggregate. So it just doesn't, it's just not going to be a good situation at this point, and so we'll see continued deterioration as the snow comes in and the snow is removed and the rocks are scraped up, and we'll just have to wait and see what it looks like in the spring to see what might have to be done. So it's unfortunate. I was hoping that the new aggregate would sit for a while, but that didn't happen. Along with the parking lot, I have received a couple quotes for the broken exit out here on the Circle Drive. There's a broken asphalt that's all broken up, and it's only going to get worse as the winter moves on. It's already crumbling and broken, so when the snowplows come through, they're just going to scrape it all off and everything. What I've done is ask for and received a couple estimates to replace the blacktop in one area and to remove the blacktop in the area by the garbage dumpsters and replace that with concrete. The way it is right now is the garbage trucks are so heavy, they go back in there and it's just depressed the whole thing. So it's kind of a speed bump as you go through that area, which may not be such a bad thing with the parents going through and getting their kids, but it does take its toll on a vehicle. And it seems like that would be something that we should talk about taking care of in the future. So I did get some estimates on that. Wireless intranet. Again, this is an aspect of the need for technology and increased technology in the district, and being able to use it down on the far end of the building, down to the kindergarten, first grade wing. I've gotten conflicting reports from the technology company, and I guess what I want to do is for the board to think about maybe having this looked at by someone different to see what the cost might be for the internet and bringing the wireless internet down there, because we did lose out on a an opportunity with the State Board of Education in piloting the kindergarten program, where it is all internet-based, it's all web-based. It's the one where the teachers are carrying around and assessing the students with the mobile devices, the iPads, and then the such. So, you know, it's something that I was told it was either going to be too cost prohibitive or couldn't be done in any other effective manners. So I'm not sure if that's the case, and I'd like to investigate that down the road. So.
Of course, the school has needs on the testing coming off of internet, right?
Correct. As these next years start rolling out, more and more of the testing, the ISATs, and the park as it changes is going to be all computer-based. So it's all going to be technology-driven, and so we will need to keep up with that. So there's things to think about. Parkview alarm system. We had some problems with the alarm system, and so we had to call Thompson Wiring out. Overlander said it wasn't them, their system was fine, they ran all their diagnostics, so it had to be in the wiring. Thompson Wiring came out and they couldn't find anything wrong, and so they replaced some things, and I'm just dreading getting the bill because I don't know what that's going to be. But we were having false alarms going off, people, it was, the codes weren't being, they were being entered correctly, but they weren't being accepted by the system and things like that. So, and then there was some fire. Well, we had to evacuate the building because of some of the heat sensors and fire sensors were going off prematurely without any cause. So, Overlander tells us everything's okay. Thompson comes in, they do some wiring and looking around, and so today we hope we won't have any alarms. The air conditioner compressor, it's on back order with Montefusco and State Farm. As I mentioned before, State Farm Insurance Company is paying for the replacement of the compressor that was damaged when the gym floor was resanded. So that will be, as soon as a new compressor comes in, Montefusco will take care of that, and we can move that and check that off our list. And she said that the backlog, or the back order, will probably be sometime near the end of November. And I said, oh, it's going to be cold, what are you doing? And she's like, we're on the roofs doing heaters anyway, so putting in an air conditioner isn't anything different than working on the heater on the roof. So they didn't have any problems with that. Homewood building. Yes. The Park District has left. The Park District has left. And when they left, they took their mats that were in the gym. When they picked up their mats to take them with them when they were leaving, there was a lot of curled up tiles. There were tiles had not popped yet, but the edges are curled, and we just don't know.
It's not asbestos though.
Don't know.
That was abated years ago. That abated, so it should be okay though.
Okay.
We did.
No.
You know that?
I thought it was in the gym. It's tile.
The gym, we had abated years ago. So it should be new
The
tile.
tiles are damaged, is what you're saying.
The tiles are damaged, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
so,
Fine.
but
That's
I'm
better
hoping
than having
it's,
to.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
tiles
that's
are
a big
easy to
cost
replace.
fortune.
They're
Well.
good stuff that's so big.
in looking through the big book of asbestos, I was not able to find where the gym area was looked at and contained. So, you know, that doesn't mean it wasn't done, doesn't mean it's not been done, it just means I didn't find it in the book. So,
I'll go dig some records.
we'll look in the book again and see what's happening, one way or another. And
Park district's been there for a long time.
This was
Before the
right
park
after I
district.
got on the board.
Yeah, it's before the park district.
This was when Homewood was open. We did it during the summer when the kids were gone, but I can't come up with a year right off the bat. I'll go look.
okay. And I don't know how far back that book, the book that we have goes, to tell you the truth, or the one that I was looking at that Shelley gave me. There may be another book, and there may be volume 2 or 1, however that might be. So anyway, I'm gonna go over there, risk life and limb, and look underneath some of the tiles, and I'll take a big breath before I go in and hold it while I'm in there.
So the gym floor is in disarray.
Right now, yeah, the gym floor is, he said it's looking like there's going to need to be some repairs, but he was concerned about asbestos. They didn't do anything with any of it. They just got their mats up and tried to get out of there the best they
Did
could.
they bring our bleachers back?
Bleachers.
Yes. There were small bleachers there. They asked that they be taken out. They stored them, and they were going to return them.
They left.
I can check on bleachers. They were to replace the basketball standard. However, when they went and was looking at replacing it and putting it back up where it was, the supports that were up there were cracked and they were damaged, so they didn't believe it was safe to put it back up. So they didn't do that. So, let's see.
Did they leave a new one though? So if we want to fix that, we can still put the new one up?
Because it probably wasn't cracked when I took it down.
Well, I can understand the support being
Right.
cracked or something, but if they were supposed to provide the new whatever.
No, they were to return the one that was there and put it back up. They
So
took it down.
did they leave it?
Yes, it's there.
As well?
Right, it's there. It's just on whether or not it can be safely returned to the wall and attached. That's the real kicker.
Facilities.
Sure.
Traveling into the building here at LaSalle, I wanted to acknowledge Mrs. Keiko and her husband. They worked hard on pulling weeds. I don't know if you've noticed, but the grounds got work, and so she needed to be acknowledged for all of that effort. Take a look when you go out, you'll see the difference.
That was very nice. Thank you. Okay, near the end of the month, the Board of Education will be going to the IASB conference. So, what we have done is put together a travel advance request for all the board members. What I would like is for you to sign the traveler, this is for, all right, well, they're individually named. So, all right. So what we've done, as in the past, you have the requested amounts. And for mileage, meals, parking, and tips, and expenses. Strong? There we go. So we're keeping track of what we're doing and you know, the accountability of everything. We put together just a simple sheet. The amount there, we can, the one that's at the bottom, the grand total, will be advanced to you if you so wish. That can be advanced to you, and then, as you can see, just receipts are required for the purchases and other things that other incidentals that might be required. As long as we have the receipts, that would be fine. Or if you would rather pay for everything on your own and then seek reimbursement, we can do that as well. So, you know, the issue is just making sure that we have a full accounting and accountability of our expenses as we're learning, and camaraderie with other board members. So,
Explain the parking, please.
okay. Yeah. Parking at the hotel. It was been kind of an issue. The valet parking is $58, or self-park is $49. The self-park is, I believe, across the street from the hotel. There is no self-parking at the hotel, so it is valet. So it's $58, and there are no in and out privileges. So every time you leave and come back, it's another $58. And so what we've done is just anticipated and gave those who were driving the $58 for the number of days that they were staying in the hotel, and whether or not that's used. If you don't leave the hotel and you leave your car inside, then that's fine. Then we figured that, you know, if you're using taxis, you know, the money would kind of just transfer up to other transportation. Because if you're not using your car and you're going to dinner downtown, you're going to take a taxi, and you know, it's going to equal out. So not knowing or trying to anticipate an amount for taxis, we just gave you the extra $58 for the parking, you know, or just try to anticipate that way.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
We changed the policy to $50 a day for meals. There's a generous amount of $65 a day here.
We changed when.
It was added, right? I believe so.
A couple months ago.
Because it wasn't in there. There was no like
Right.
amount in
Right.
there in the actual policy. And so then we changed it to, because we felt like there should be an amount.
Okay.
People shouldn't be, you know.
Well, you're gonna have to require, you're gonna have
But
to
you gotta have
provide
receipt
receipts.
anyway.
So you're gonna have to turn in what
Yeah, you
is
gotta
left.
turn
Well,
it
you'll
back.
have to turn in whatever's left, but I mean, it's easier not to spend it if you don't have it too.
Okay. I don't have any problem with that. I missed that, and we just used what was used last year as an amount. So I have no problem changing it if that's what you want. That's fine with me.
As far as I know, it's always been $50 a day.
I'm just FYI,
It doesn't make any difference. I mean, you're gonna bring
your
your
receipt
receipts
is
back
gonna be
anyway.
$50 a day regardless. You're gonna have to return whatever you don't use.
Right.
I'm just saying that,
I was gonna say, do you think they got that amount last year because they counted Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? versus just Saturday. I mean, I don't know what they're counting. Because Sunday, a lot of people go to the conferences on Sunday as well. So, I mean, I don't know, is that why they gave you guys that much last year? Because they were counting like 3 days versus 2?
Didn't a lot of people go up on Thursday last time?
No.
No. One person did.
Then that would be different.
Because your conference does start at 11 o'clock on Friday. We were talking about that. So, I mean, I don't know if that's what, last year they looked at it, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or?
We never got anything like this last year, so I had no idea what we just got a check.
Right.
So it wasn't broken down as to how much for each expense, so I have no
And it
idea
was
what we got.
stated, it was stated it had been the ones in the past, the same amount.
Right.
Right, the $65 is what Shelley had used in the past
What she used.
for determining the meals as for the per diem. Like you said, everybody was just given an advanced amount, and then whatever wasn't used was to be returned along with your receipts. So that still is what the policy says, is you're going to return your receipts and all of those, whatever's not used. We used a standard MapQuest just to find the mileage so that we had a standard that we were working from. And hotel charges, meal charges, mid-fare selection for the hotel or facility. Tips are included in the meal charges. Expense vouchers must explain the meal charges incurred. Approved January 2013. So that's why I didn't see a $50 or anything. There was no number in
Drinks
it.
were not included. Alcohol.
Right, alcohol's not included.
I don't know, I thought we talked about adding the $50 thing, I was positive we did, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're not.
The old policy was brought to one meeting and instead of the new one. Is that, I remember that about some policy.
But then it got held back because the $50 wasn't on there, and then we approved it at the following meeting.
Got it. All right, we can definitely change these.
My opinion, I would like mine changed,
Okay.
so.
Okay, on the mileage.
Yes, ma'am.
That is for the gas and the wear and tear on your car, is that correct? That is per state standards.
It's IRS rate, yes.
What is it per mile now? What's IRS reporting?
It was like 0.565.
5, yeah.
56.5 cents per mile. And is that a problem?
No.
No.
But you are not expecting any of that money to be returned. That's why I'm trying to clarify.
Right. Yes, the mileage is going to be, most likely used up all used up in gas to get there. So, no. However the big ball works, your receipts are going to kind of level out. The mileage is what the mileage is, and that's the way we're gonna have to play that.
So you're saying the gas receipt will not reflect the total amount?
The money you
Because of the
receive.
wear and tear?
Right.
Right, and that's
Right.
just, I just wanted to clarify that.
And it says no receipt for gas, but would you rather us put in a receipt for gas as well?
No, if we're paying mileage, that's the difference. You pay mileage, then you
Right.
don't have to have the receipt for gas, and
You know,
that's
one out
standard.
there.
Yeah, that's standard business practice. So I wasn't worried about that.
It can save our receipts.
Anything else, Ms. Troop? I will make a new. No problem. Gotcha. Already? All right. Okay, let's Oops. I'll just make notes.
That's
And I will email them so that you have those as we go forward. Yep. And as I showed Ms. Kern, there is the website is open for planning your sessions that you want to go to, but you have to be careful because it doesn't do what you were saying. It doesn't block out, like if you put in a 1:30 session, it still allows you to enter other 1:30 sessions as
Right.
well. So it doesn't, block those out. So you just have to be careful about your times that you're doing that. And you have to print it right there. You cannot save it as you go through the website. So just an FYI on that. We have been a member of the IASB for at least 21 years, if not longer. That was a question that was asked, and those 21 years is as far back as the computerized records go with IASB. All right. We will have a better presentation from our principals at the regular meeting, but many of you may have already seen the Illinois Interactive School Report Cards that have come out. And that way. We have, Ms. Callahan has embedded the link to the interactive report card right into my front page message on the website. So it's highlighted in blue. You click right there, it goes right to the interactive report card, and you can find all of the district's information. This is what they're calling the At a Glance report card. This is what the State Board of Education has come up with as a look at the profile of your school and what they feel is important for people to know. But this is the At a Glance. Once you're inside the website, you can look at all different kinds of data, and you'll be able to see the success that our school has had. So one of the things I'd like to point out is up there in the left-hand corner is how much academic growth do students show from one year to the next. You can see that the Illinois average is 101. It is a 0 to 200 value, and this is to compare from one year to the next, how much the average growth of the school. And you can see that in mathematics in 2012-13, the Illinois average student growth was 101, which is probably right at the average you would expect. And you can see that Creve Coeur's average was 108, so above the Illinois. Our score was 108, which is above the Illinois average. And then in reading, the Illinois average was 102, and the Creve Coeur score was 105. So we're showing academic growth from one year to the next. Growth is happening here. So the box below that is on the academic success, and they have the cut scores and the new cut scores, the old cut scores, which is how the Illinois State Board of Education is raising the performance expectations. But what we need to look at is in 2011-12, with the cut scores, we would have been at a 38% meet or exceed state standards. And this year, that's in reading, and this year we're at 49%. Last year in mathematics, the district was at 34%, and this year we're at 46%. So it's showing that growth. It's showing that these kids are learning, that the teachers are teaching, and the administrators are holding their staff accountable. So it is all about celebrating the success. And those that saw the television news clip, that's what that was all about, was to celebrate success. And that came out of the blue. They called us. I didn't have anything to do with it, because they called us before the report cards even came out, and wanted to come and find out why Creve Coeur had done, had met AYP. What had we done that gave us this success? So that's what that was all about.
In Mr. Jokish's report that we all get, We Are Parkview, I found that it was a little bit troubling, probably the rest of you thought that too, when he said that on this report it's showing that the mobility rate is increased to 46% and was well above the state average at 13%. Parkview's low income percentage increased from 71%, and in 2009 the low income percentage was only 59%. So those two features, you know, it's awesome that we're getting such an increase in the reporting there with what they're also telling about our district. I just thought that was something to be noted.
And I would encourage the public to go to the interactive report card and look around and see what's going on there and the data that's out there on your school and those grades, because there's some good stuff, you know. And when you do compare it to those kind of numbers and you make those kind of analogies, it really shows that there's success for these kids.
Well, it was nice to finally see something positive in the news about Creve Coeur.
Yes.
Just one comment.
Okay. The number 5 is the last part of the discussion items, and I'm not quite sure how to go about this. I guess I'm just a reporter. I'm just reporting. And I'm really not sure what I'm reporting. So the parent club funds. Board of Education, ladies, I just don't know. I don't know what you want, and I don't know what else to bring. I mean, I can bring the whole boxes and boxes of documents, and I'll be glad to do it. I'm not sure what. I'm not sure what you want, and it's not like I'm not whining. I'm not complaining. I just don't know. I'm just frustrated because I don't know what else is needed. So
one discussion was the board has asked for a parent club that is independent of the school. So give us a report on that. That's a good report. What is taking form now?
oh. Okay, that's different than this.
Well, that was on the list. That was on the list of requests, and we have been,
But it's not on here.
It's talking about the
Parents
Parents
Club
Club funds, and one reason we directed to form new parents is because we wanted to have them independent of us so that we're not accountable.
I think where Shane's coming across is this is a dead horse that has been beaten for 2.5, 3 years. How long has this horse been beaten?
Thank you.
Personally, if people can't get over this, then the parent club needs to be dissolved completely. The school needs to run its business and teach these kids. And I mean, this is ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. We have talked about this for how many meetings, over and over and over. And I personally, I don't have time to keep talking about the same dang thing. So,
We've had 3 different superintendents bring out 3 different reports, which all are the same from our office and the district office. So 3 different superintendents have done this, as Mrs. Troop is mentioning. And the old parent club told us what they would like to have spent on. It has been spent on that.
yeah.
And so, yeah.
Can we get the minutes of that meeting where they wanted to spend on?
I have the LaSalle minutes in my purse because it was given to me.
Hey, can we assure the people
The part
that all the
Parkview parents
fundraising
wasn't
money
coming to it.
has been spent on District 76 children?
Well,
That's
those
what
3
I want to
reports
know.
brought you. Those 3 reports, what more is what he's
Those
saying, what
reports
more
we got at the
do you
last
want?
meeting when the smart boards were like 4,000 something or other, and those reports we got were,
Can
The money
someone
was spent.
provide a sheet, an Excel sheet, that says they was left with, what, 11,000 something odd dollars? Can you provide where every penny of that went? That's all I want to know. I'm satisfied if it was spent on the children. I realize there were not meetings going on because there were no parent clubs. They couldn't have been having meetings.
But yet checks were written on those accounts.
Exactly.
And we represent, I mean, these parent clubs,
parent club. It's a
Okay.
single organization
but
at
there
this
were
moment.
2.
There were 2, but it's been single for 2 years.
But they were written on the old parent
And
club
that's-
accounts.
Yeah, that's where the problems come in.
So
It wasn't written on the new parent club account. It was written on LaSalle Parent Club and Parkview Parent Club. As recent as like May and August.
Mrs. Bailey, I thought you put a graph together showing that all accountable monies
You put in a
were
FOIL
done.
for all that
That was
information, so.
Concessions, Stephen. That was concessions.
Wasn't it
Parkview.
also on the, okay,
That was concessions.
you're the one that likes those.
Well, hasn't Mr. Gibbons been given this information like 3 or 4 times?
I don't know what he's been given.
3 times.
We
And
asked for the
that's
same information
And
that
yet we
he,
constantly talk about the same old thing. I
But
mean,
we
I
asked-
don't understand, I don't know that I understand.
we asked for the same information that he got. And one of the information items that he wanted was an accounting and receipt for what was spent. Now, I didn't get it, so I don't know if he got it. But we
He's
did ask,
talking about
as a board though,
2
we asked,
receipts.
we asked as a board, can we have the same information that he has requested?
We got that in the last packet.
We didn't
Right,
get,
we did.
we did get the receipts.
But you did get
Everything
checks
but
that were
2 receipts.
No, we didn't
Okay.
get checks that were written, we just got a check that was handed over to Parkview.
No, we had the
And a
checks
check that
wrote
was
to
handed to
Walmart.
LaSalle. There was not checks written out for smart boards or for whatever.
Right, they were written to the district and just
Exactly.
happened to clear out both of those accounts to the penny. So where are the receipts for what was purchased and what the district paid for that they got reimbursed by those funds?
What if those receipts aren't, I mean, we cannot ever find them? I mean, we're gonna still beat this thing to death and have
Do you know what we're
people
talking about?
continuing to do an Open Meetings Act violation and all this and cost the district so much money and time and waste. It just seems, I mean, I realize that we want to be accountable for what's been spent, but
Right,
the
that's
teachers, not the teachers, but the parents, you know, had done their fundraising, but it gets to a point where If they're not available, they're not available, and
Can
they
we
have to
just be
decide to
available?
move
Every
on.
check this district writes should be available with a receipt. So if that parent club reimbursed the district for an expense that they made, that paperwork is there. It better be, or that auditor's gonna go crazy.
That's all this.
So there has to be something showing what was
Have we
purchased.
passed our audits in the past, or is this not part of the audit? I mean, I'd like
It
to
was
get
done
this
in
thing
August,
finalized,
so
so
it
we
might
can
not be
just
part of
get
the
it
audit,
done.
because some of this was done in May and August, so it's gonna be on this one.
Because we have so many things to go forward that we need to start worrying about and thinking about for these kids. And it seems like we're spending a lot of time and money on rehashing something that a lot of us have no decision in making.
But that's why we need to clear it up so that we can move forward. Right. Get it cleared up to everybody's, expectations, and then move forward.
And that's where Shane said from the very beginning was, he doesn't even know what the expectation is, right? He doesn't know what we want.
What receipt-
Personally, I'm not the one requesting it. I believe it was Miss Bailey that requested it.
And
So
you requested
maybe,
specific items.
And at the board meeting, she also said, can we have exactly what everyone FOIAs?
And you do.
Yes, you do.
I'm not saying we didn't, but I'm just saying, and one of the things, wait a minute, one of the things was Mr. Giddens said he did not get the receipts. And so neither did we. So I assume he didn't get them, we didn't get them
For the 2 checks.
for the 2 checks. He asked for that.
Yeah, he did. He did. And I told him that if I misunderstood his FOIA request, he should have contacted me and made me aware of what he was actually asking for if I didn't understand him and give him what he was thinking he was asking for.
But that's
He never
basically-
contacted me.
That's basically what you asked for, though.
and then did he recontact you then again?
No.
Or did he
No,
just drop it?
no, he has
So
no other
then-
FOIAs.
I mean,
Right.
Mrs.
Right.
Bailey is asking for it, the same thing. So where is this information?
You have
Well,
two-
apparently.
Can we
the-
provide receipts for all items purchased and also the checks that were issued from the district to purchase them, if applicable? If so, we need to do that. Okay. All right, is that the crux of it all? I mean, because there's a lot of other things that are here that are a lot of questions and statements but I can't provide documentations because I'm not sure what is
And
being
we
asked.
can't fix part of it. I know we can't. There were meetings, there were no meetings, but there were fundraising going on, and there were checks written
So there had
for
to
a
be
parent
some
club,
type
so
of an
something.
agreement.
Yes, there had to be. I don't know who was involved in it. I don't know what the directive was.
Those are our principles.
It could have been. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. We know that went on. If there were no meetings, there's no minutes.
Right.
That's that.
You can't produce something.
Exactly. All we can do is the new PACE needs to have bylaws. They need to stick to it.
And that's what I was asking Mr. Aldridge to tell you.
But what I am afraid of is since these other 2 issues have not been clarified with the community, how is PACE going to move forward? Where is my trust in this group? Because we can't give, and I say we can't give the public answers. I can't get to a 0 balance out of all the fundraiser money that was left over May of whatever year it was. You need to start with those amounts that was in the Parkview Parent Club and the LaSalle. Can we account for every single purchase, whether it was approved or not, to get down to a 0 balance? That's my question, that's what I want to see.
And you saying the report that you were given doesn't have that?
It doesn't have the receipts, right?
2 receipts. 2 receipts. But they have the checks showing where the
And
money
we
was
have,
spent.
the teachers or somebody's got the smart boards and the other stuff that
Yes.
they purchased.
Do they?
Yes.
Where?
Well,
I'm just saying, that's what
Yes.
they're gonna ask, the public's gonna say, do they? Where
But
are they?
the
We
parent-
have to be accountable.
Are they or are they not in the schools?
Were they purchased new or were they moved?
We've had smart boards for, 4 years now?
So what do you want to do? Go around and check serial numbers? I mean,
No.
really.
We just need
Put in
to
the
provide the
receipt.
public the information.
Yeah.
I know the parent club approved buying picnic tables. Okay, there were no picnic tables needed to be bought because they were donated.
Right.
Okay. So what did we buy with the money that we did not purchase the picnic tables? What else did we buy?
Those technology, they were short money even. So the monies were brought through the new pays. And
So you're saying the old parent club money was given to PACE?
no, I'm saying the old parent club money went as far as it could
Okay.
to do what they asked it to do. At that point, PACE picked up the balance to get this equipment
No,
that.
the district did.
The district did.
The district did,
Excuse me.
yeah.
The district
That's
picked
what
up the
Shelley-
balance to get that equipment that the old group wanted. It was honored, it was honored.
Oh, yeah, Shelley's got receipts. Shelley's got receipts. It just may, it is, I mean, it's, you know, we've got receipts. I just don't know, we've got lots of receipts, and we've got more receipts. I'm just not quite sure what it is I'm looking for. I guess that's my frustration. I'm not quite sure what it is I'm looking for, because I have, you know, I got a LaSalle Parents Club Treasurers Report, November 2012.
Well, the only two that would have zeroed out the accounts would have been the two that were written to Creve Coeur School District. So we just need the receipts for the smart boards and the receipts for the laptops.
Brad Fields, Smart Boards, 3rd grade, $2,417.
That was in November.
That was in November. We need the ones
Maybe
probably
August.
for August. And then it would have been a receipt that Creve Coeur wrote a check for. But
See what I
then
mean? And that's why I don't know what I'm looking for, because there's a lot of.
The parent club reimbursed Creve Coeur for, so.
So in
It
that
would be
last
in
packet,
Shelley's.
there was what, it was like smart boards, 4,000 something
Right.
odd dollars.
Right,
So
there
then
was a
Shelley should have a receipt for that amount of
Yeah.
money for smart
Right.
boards.
There was a.
And I think that the
Yeah, it was
laptops were
there.
purchased through Jay Wendelin. So that,
There were money in the receipts for that.
yeah.
That's the
Kids?
main thing that we're talking
I
about, right?
think, I don't know,
He
Brad
usually
should
has
know more
probably.
because Brad orchestrated that one.
Brad Fields, April 8th, 2013. Brad Fields, quantity 2, unit sets, description, smart boards, total $6,452. Bill LaSalle Parent Club, invoice number, discount, blah, blah, shipping, $6,635.67. Here, this shows the deposit into the district account from the LaSalle Parents Club, $4,479.82. From the PACE reimbursement, smart boards, $1,505.85. Here's the check, Creve Coeur School District, $4,479.82. The memo, smart boards. Signature, Kimberly Powers, Michelle Cornwell. I got no problem giving anybody everything, you know, copies of, you know, I'll copy the snot out of everything. I just didn't know what you guys were wanting, so if this is what, if this is it? Is it? Okay, well, there may be more stuff that is in here, guys. I'm just looking, you know, I'm just flipping through pages. I'm not trying to get down to an exact amount.
Can a board member go to Shelley and sit down and go through this and then photocopy what they need to? Or is that something that you and Shelley should do?
No, I got no problem with the board members coming in and no, these are all, you know, our records for the school district. I got no problem.
You know what you want. Can you go into the do as Mrs. Cagle suggests? Go in and just ask Shelley to produce what you're wanting. I know, and plus the illness and the family's on.
I guess I'm not trying to be, you know, obstinate, and I'm not trying to be, you know, uncooperative. I'm not giving you guys what you want, and I don't know what it is you want, and that's the frustration. You're telling me what you want, I'm not hearing what you want, I'm giving you stuff that you don't want, or not the things you want, or whatever it is. It's just not, there's a disconnect here. And whatever it is.
Well,
I'd be willing to go out to the school together and we'll go through the stuff and pick out what you want.
what I'm hearing Ms. Bailey wants is an Excel sheet that maybe the records should have been kept that way, but apparently the records were not kept that way. So you want all the records. I mean, how far are we gonna go back? We're gonna go back 30 years?
Oh, no.
Because maybe I wanna know 30 years ago what y'all did with the, or 10 years ago, or 15 years ago, what you did with the bingo money.
We used
You
to
know
work
what I
in
mean?
tell you.
I mean,
Isn't
but
it-
you know what I mean? How far are we gonna go back?
Are we
Can we
going
just
with these two checks?
move
Is that what we're
forward
looking for?
with this whole thing?
You should have treasurer's reports showing where the money went.
We used to do that at board meetings, have the treasurer's report here, and we could see where the money went and approved it and make sure everything was in line, because they did have our tax ID number.
Well, and it
But-
reflects on us.
But at
Right.
this point, are we just looking for the receipts for those two checks? Are we gonna be done with it once we get the receipts for those two checks? Is Mr. Giddens gonna be happy with
I don't
that?
know.
No, it doesn't. It didn't.
Okay, Linda, are you gonna be happy if you get the receipts for those two
That's
checks?
what I guess I'm asking.
Because you're the one that sent the email out.
No, probably not. I want to take the time to make the Excel sheet from the meeting, I believe it was in May, when you stated how much you had a bank statement in front of you. You stated how much money
You're
they had.
saying me,
You did.
2013?
Yes, it was you. I watched a video to make sure it was you. Mr. Aldrich, do you have that email in front of you? 11,000 some odd dollars. From that time on, because
$11,231.26.
right, and you were reading that off of a bank statement.
Right.
From that time on, there were no meetings, nobody could write any checks, those names were taken off of the accounts. So from that time till now, if I can account for that, I'm good. I just want to prove that
Okay,
every penny was
that's
spent on the
clear now.
kids,
That you, now you're finally clear,
okay?
specifically from that 11,000 whatever until now.
Right.
July
That's,
2012.
that's actually
Okay.
clear. It
So it's
wasn't
only
clear.
2 months.
I mean, like, we've been beating this horse for 30 minutes now.
Okay, Parkview's a different story.
2012.
13.
There were checks written, there was money being deposited in, when I think we all thought that there wasn't anything going on. I don't know how to get to the bottom of that.
Well, you know, and who knows, we almost have to maybe, you know,
As a learning experience, chalk it up to a learning experience.
so how much are we gonna spend on our employees' time taken away from our children's education to make this Excel sheet?
I'll go up and do it, just what Mr. Aldridge suggested. I'll go up, go through the receipts, I'll make the Excel sheet.
It wasn't my suggestion, I said
Well,
I didn't have a
I
problem with
I
it.
just wanna know-
It was her suggestion.
Okay,
If we
Well-
can do that, just to end, you know, to figure it out.
We've gotta just get
But what
over it.
happens if it
Move forward.
doesn't
Oh my
balance?
gosh.
We've got to decide that we're gonna be,
Let's hope it.
yeah.
And if it
Well,
doesn't,
sometimes
then
it's not our
what?
choice to
How are we gonna
decide
fix
whether-
it? We're
if
not.
it's 2 cents, we'll throw it in. I don't know.
I mean, if we can't fix it, it's in the past, it's over, it's done with. We have a new group, they have a new tax ID number, they're gonna develop bylaws. I was at the first meeting, I heard all this. All we can do is trust that they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and if they don't, we dissolve it and it's over, period.
Are you willing to go up there and look for this? I mean, I'll come up and assist you or whatever.
I guess I'm just surprised you don't find what you're wanting in the 3 superintendents' reports that have been given out. You're just saying
Give us a
it's
call, because if his payroll, there's no way we're gonna be able to do anything. Just- But, yeah, I got no problem. There's boxes and boxes and boxes, so, you know, that's been my problem, my frustration is trying to narrow it down, because you guys have lived it. I didn't. I don't know it.
Well, and there was moves involved, there was the district office was moved, there's boxes piled everywhere down in Homewood in this one room.
Parent club stuff?
Who knows? How do you know? I don't know.
The problem is part of it is, I think that from the perception of the public, that the money was just sitting there waiting for an audit. And then all of a sudden, that wasn't the perception, that it was being spent. So now then the counts are cleared out.
But from the perception of some of the public, because we're not gonna say all the public perceives that way.
Right.
So from the perception of some of the public, it was decided on that the money would be spent on what those parents clubs wanted it spent on. So, smart boards, a slide being fixed out here in, at LaSalle.
You have the minutes. Is that the minutes, official minutes?
Well, no, because this is an official minute of our parent club meeting. No date, no names, no nothing. So, but it was given to me as, this is what it was. So, you know, I'm saying here, I'm not trying to be obstinate at all. I'm just saying, when are we gonna ever move forward with this? When? When is it ever gonna happen? It's gotta happen eventually. We cannot relive the past. I can't change what happened 5 minutes ago. So why do we keep trying to change it? Why can't we just move forward?
With that, we are moving forward. The new parents organization
Right.
is, would you tell us what you've been able to orchestrate on that, please?
Sure.
Because that is something we have all been asking for.
Okay. At the last meeting, the PACE volunteer group put together their fundraising list. They did the what is it we did? You did. The concessions
Yeah,
at
we have a co-treasurer right here, so maybe.
The Halloween party.
the Halloween party. That's
We do
it.
a South Parade for Halloween.
There you go.
We still don't have the banking stuff there.
The fundraising, yes. So what has transpired now is that the PACE group has its own FEIN number. It is in the process of getting new bank signature cards so that they are separate from the school district. They are, now that we have the FEIN number, the next step is to become a not-for-profit organization within the state of Illinois. That's next on the list, now that we have the federal number. And working on the bylaws and procedures for the club, for the parents club. That's next in line. It is the bank. The bank was wanting specifics from the group as to the old officers, or the old people who were on the signature card. They weren't going to take those people off unless they had a trail to show that there's new officers and that have been elected. So we had to get minutes from the first meeting.
Right?
So we had those, they had minutes, but they didn't list the officers in all of that. So at our last meeting that we just had, I told them we need to rewrite the minutes and include the new officers that were elected so that the bank would accept that. And once they had that, the FEIN number and the minutes showing all of these changes, then they would be able to sign the cards and have their account up and running. So it's not an overnight process. The federal government was shut down for a while. IRS is not the easiest place to get to. So it took about 10 days for us to get the FEIN number back, and now that we have it and things are at the bank, I think they have everything that they need to move that forward. Mrs.
I was waiting for a letterhead from the district. We had to take a letterhead from the district stating the old ones being removed, the new ones being added, and at least one old person has to go in with us at the same time.
Okay, you need an old an old person.
Which would be Kim Powers up for
No.
Yeah.
Thank you for that update.
But things are moving forward.
Okay.
Is that correct?
All right, we're going to set that down. Public participation is our next item on the agenda. So if you'll stand and state your name and address for us.
Don Bachler, 201 Oak Ridge, Peoria. Reason I address is by Homewood Heights, that the tile down there is not asbestos. It was removed from Homewood Heights Gym back probably in the 90s before that report came out. Released that to Fond du Lac. Fond du Lac was aware that they had to watch the curling of the tile because of the moisture in there during the summer months. They were supposed to leave the fans on. Also, there was a humidifier installed down there to take care of that moisture. So they were told that they'd be responsible for the tile if it curls up, because leaving those mats down all the time made the moisture come out and it popped up the tile from the floor. Also, the bleachers, they were removed by Fond du Lac, put in storage just like the basketball rims were. And they said they store those bleachers down there in their building down someplace in East Peoria, and that they would return them. So it's a little background on Homewood Heights.
Do we have any of that in writing?
I imagine someplace in writing, because because that's the reason why I had Dick. In fact, they can contact Dick Young, and he's the one who installed the fans and the ceilings for that.
As far as the bleachers, it was discussed at a board meeting. You should find that in minutes, because they asked if they could take them out.
Same thing as
It was brought to the
basketball.
board.
Back in the 90s.
The
Bleachers were
wasn't that
later.
far.
The bleachers were later because they wanted more of the gym and more
I
room.
was gonna say, sometime in the 90s.
See, at that time, they were using only half the gym.
I'll go back through that. You're good enough. I'll go back through the minutes.
I'll grab the minutes, I've got them all archived anyway.
Okay, thank you.
There you go.
Simple search.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Bachler. Any other comments? Having none, we need a motion, please, for adjournment.
Make the motion to adjourn.
I second it.
See, it's starting.
Mr. Bailey? Reiner? Brenda Cagle? Rebecca Kern, aye. Valerie Reagan?
Aye.
Julie True?
Aye.
Judy Shaw?
Yes,
Motion carried.
meeting adjourned.